All right, we're reading chapter 115 of We Can't Study. A flashback we're launched into immediately. It's the Ogatarizu arc. Narayuki hearing her stunning confession. Not her love for him, not the one that maybe we expected to emerge from this arc, but something much more chilling. I hate myself. So this is her grandmother, and now a high school student. I don't play games with Ryuzu Chan. Not a chance. I'm not going to be strong enough to beat Nana. If I become stronger, then I will be able to understand the feelings of other people, as well as your feelings from back then. Am I right? Oh, so that's it. So this is really good, and this is something that Furuhashi kind of already had her moment, where we saw the connection between her love of astronomy and her late mother, and it really kind of gave some depth. It gave a lot more kind of significance and weight to her desire, to kind of like the core goal she has of the series. So I thought that was great. Now we're getting the same thing, and it's really tragic. I love this idea of that she spent time with her grandmother, that she remembers these things, but she doesn't understand them. She doesn't understand what her grandmother meant back then. And all she can hope is that somehow, by playing games, by learning psychology, by understanding other people, she'll be able to understand her grandmother back then. That's nice. Yeah. I like that. It's so richly tragic, you know? The idea that even if she comes to understand, her grandmother is still gone, you know? Like that kind of soft sadness. Thanks as always to Jaimini's box for this excellent scanlation. Okay, so this is their first tutor, of course, was Sensei, demanding that they change their field of study, shocked that they would be so adamant about doing things they're so terrible at. I refuse, and I do not care if you're my tutor and whatnot. You have no right to decide what I do with my life. So, okay. Okay. Okay, alright. So, this had to happen for some reason. Sorry for being a water flea. She just does her skirt off. So this is when she first met, or they've been assigned to her for the past half a year. So they've been hanging out for half a year now. Something of a feather, birds of a feather flock together, I guess. And here we can see this is a really cute shot. Narayuki and his friends. He's studying super hard, and then he passes Iruka, who's blushing and looking back at him. So nice. But yeah, so this is kind of the origin of their friendship. It looks like they don't really get along too much yet. They're kind of at a distance. But Christmas is coming up soon, and we know that starting this year, Furuhashi started helping out with the Santa costume and stuff. So something is going to change soon. Here's our little fan club, whom we haven't seen in quite a while, but is a semi-recurring plotline. Friendly to others and in beauty loved by all. She feels like the polar opposite to my existence. Come as well, Okada-san. We've known each other for 6 months. Will not go. I have to help with work at home as well. Eating together just because we've known each other for half a year. I know rational agreement in that logic. Poor Ogata. And yeah, like when we first knew her in the start of the story, she was a lot more shy. She was a lot more reserved. And I think this is kind of like the first, and this is nice, okay? So it's like, we've seen like this much development, or whatever. And then we see here that she's like much further back even than that. So we know sometime in this flashback, sometime between now and the start of the series, she's going to warm up a little bit. She's going to connect with Furuhashi. So that's nice. I like that kind of flashback where you know some of the outcomes. You know what to anticipate. And it's something that you know is going to be really nice and beautiful. Okay, so here she is at the udon shop, playing one of the handmade games her grandmother left her by herself. And who's here enjoying a delicious bowl of udon? Well, of course, it's Furuhashi. Totally be a regular here now. Santa costume is adorable. Easy time of bringing a friend home. She didn't really bring a friend home. She just worked it out. Yeah, you give off that lovely dashi scent from time to time. I had a hunch it came from this shop. Aw, how nice. Oh, look at how cute Furuhashi is. Dude, Furuhashi's the best. Surprisingly sharp. She's some kind of genius or whatever. Wow, so she's like really unaware. She really didn't realize just kind of the exact reputation that Furuhashi had. Seeing her as just some sort of alien other, something that represented everything she didn't. Everyone ordering food, ordering bukkake udon, cold udon served with a thick dashi broth. Okay, well, you can interpret that another way too. So Furuhashi starts helping out. Clear the plates though. Child in that booth, so water might be preferred over tea. Ooh, wow, look, Furuhashi's so nice. This consideration. And Ogata, I'm sure, realizes immediately, like, hey, this sort of understanding other people, this sort of understanding their wants and their needs, this is exactly what I need to do to be good at games, and this is exactly how I'm going to connect to my late grandmother. So I think this is going to lead to a situation that was referenced way earlier in the series, which is sort of like the obvious question you ask when you hear about the premise of the series, is why don't they just tutor each other, right? Why doesn't Furuhashi teach Ogata like the liberal arts, and why doesn't Ogata teach Furuhashi mathematics? Well, they said they just can't do it, that they just can't teach each other. But I'd like to see that firsthand. I hope this flashback covers that as well, now that Ogata is kind of getting this idea. She saw through the feelings of the customers that much in the blink of an eye. It really helped. First time I worked at Crown, it's actually kind of fun. Of course, we get this little scene. She will be amazing in the next 1 or 2 years. Poor Furuhashi. Really don't understand the feelings of others after all. Oh, and she sees the handmade board games. Nice. Lived you dearly, Ogata-san. Precious treasure. But it's for her loving me to the very end. Yeah, why did she say that? So for a while it looked like she happily played games with Rizu. And then at some point she made this declaration. We're not allowed to play until you're strong enough to beat me. What was the intent of that? What? She really just trying to toughen her up? Is there something else? Was it that she knew she was dying and didn't want Rizu to see her in her weakened, deteriorating state? Nana's feelings as well as everyone else's for me. I love stars. Oh, that's so nice. Been together for half a year. I'm happy to finally know that you love games today. That's why I want you to know more about me and how I feel as well. And this is lovely on so many layers. First off, Furuhashi just feeling excited that she's made a friend with whom she can share this stuff. Excited that she's becoming better friends with Ogata, with whom she's been stuck with for half a year without really making any headway. And then I think she also understands that Ogata wants to connect to people, that Ogata has a hard time understanding people's feelings, and that she can help with this, that she can be like, here, I want you to understand me. We can use me as like a case study. You can learn how I feel. Love to eat and sleep. Love that shop's parfaits. Favorite star of the season. There's so much snow. They can't see the stars. She is the person I wish I could be. Oh, person I can never become. A weird one for Furuhashi-san. When they first start calling each other by their first names. Oh, this is so. Oh, man. So, of course, they became friends. They became closer and closer. I thought there would be more to the flashback. I wanted to see, like, a few more incidents, you know. I wanted to see the attempt to tutor each other and stuff, but fine. So I understand now. I want to become Furuhashi. So I think it's not possible, which is why I've always hated myself. 2 years later. For 2 years, she's kept these feelings. Jeez. Something I've accepted already. Thanks to your help, Nariyuki-san, right now I intend to grow in my own way as well. Compared to me of the past, I really have gotten better at reading the feelings of others. It's true. She really, really has. Oh, man. Oh. You still out here saying this for you, Nariyuki-san? Something happened? When did you come back? I left my pencil case in the shop. Freezing at Regent's shoulders are exposed. See, she's still the Grandmaster. She's still the most considerate person of all. To a fault at times. What a cute outfit, too. Man, Furuhashi. I want to be Furuhashi, too. Furuhashi is the best. I can totally understand Richan. Catch a cold at this rate. Some major enemy. Master! Shisho. Oh, but seeing them talk so closely together. She's worried about my well-being. She understands Nariyuki-san relatively well as well. That is to be accepted for me now. Nariyuki-san seems to be enjoying himself as well. I'm sure that is because they have complete trust in one another. Even I am proud of it. You see that? I can pick up on other feelings as well. Uh-oh. I think we're gonna have a collapse or something. Or a cry. Yeah, she stumbles forward. They catch her. What am I? Shoulders are exposed for too long, so I'm not feeling well today. Okay. Thought if I could pick up on the feelings of others, that alone would make me like myself. And yet, oh, now the tears are coming. All I saw was the side of me I despise. Which is why I hate myself. Wow. 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 I am quite impressed with all of this. The next day, since that day, Ogata hasn't shown up for study sessions. Whew! Wow, this is quite an intense arc. I'm really impressed. Really nice job tying in the friendship with Furuhashi, this kind of hidden element of the series that we hadn't really explored before. It's clearly something that has a problem, but the solution is so abstract. It's so different than the other arcs. It's things that like bring to a head Nariyuki's growing comfortability and friendship with Furuhashi and how that is perceived by others, which is something she's always really concerned about. It's like her concerns are kind of validated here. And just this idea, like really think about Ogata's character arc here. This is really moving to me. That she's someone whom was kind of socially repressed before, emotionally repressed. Someone who couldn't understand the feelings of others and couldn't really connect to them. And then, as she develops these abilities, as she becomes closer to people, and as she really kind of acknowledges to herself her crush on Nariyuki, that results from all of that, all it allows her to do is become so much more acutely aware of that gap which feels insurmountable. The gap between her and how Furuhashi is, the gap between her and Nariyuki. That in the end, she still is kind of a strange person, kind of an awkward person, someone who can't quite banter so easily. And she's like, oh God, like in the end, this is all I am. Pick up on other feelings as well. All I saw was the side of me I despise. Gosh. Okay. Alright, what can possibly happen from here? I really don't know. This is like so far outside of the expectations I had for this series. It's like normally you have a character like this. You know, the kind of nerdy girl, the sort of socially awkward girl, whatever. And it's like that kind of archetype is allowed to be sort of at peace, you know? That maybe there's an arc where she's like, oh, I want to understand people better. And, you know, she comes to understand people better. And she's like, yeah, I did it. but like to really make a focal point to have the deep sort of longings of that character lean onto the plot, like it's just not something you expect to happen. It's all hitting me pretty hard because I I'm not gonna get into it. Something in my personal life, and it's like my very very personal life, and I can't even begin to explain it. But this reminds me of it. This reminds me of it, and so this is actually quite intense. You know, I always enjoy this series. I think it's really well done, but usually I'm pretty like emotionally disconnected from it. You know, like I'm more just interested in it as a manga and how it does harem manga, and how it does like the various facets of the genre, rather than being like, yeah, Team Furuhashi, yeah, let's go Nariyuki, that's me, whatever, right? I'm not on that like really like kind of like personal level of engagement with it. But this arc, it's hitting me harder than I thought it would. Okay, well let's plunge ahead. With the next chapter, we'll be caught up finally on this series, which is very very exciting. I haven't been caught up on this one in quite a long time, and we'll start getting to read it week by week, which of course is such a treat for me. Hopefully it's a treat for you too. I don't know if people actually prefer the chapter every day sort of method, but I don't know. Once we get all caught up on these ones, we're going to move on to another series to get caught up on. So for a long time, there's at least going to be some series that's getting the chapter every day. Anyways, yeah,